The Banjo Ben Show, starring Banjo Ben, with Benny Clark.
Well, Thelma, won't you say I do? I do. One sure day, I'll marry you. Well, Thelma, won't you say I do? I do. One sure day, I'll marry you. Hot dang, Andy.
Boy, that Gallagher guitar box sure does ring just like a bell, don't it?
Oh, thank you, Vern. Wow, Paul, y'all are really something. You can take this out on the road and be rich and famous like the Bluegrass Cardinals. Well, thank you, Ope. But I've got to tell you, there's more to life than being rich and famous.
That's the truth, Ope. Ain't all the rave. Lot of work being widely known and all. All them pretty girls chasing after you. Got to find a way to spend all that extra money, and why, you ain't ever home in time for Aunt Bee's cooking. Trust me.
Well, Vern, I didn't know you were so widely known and familiar with that way of life.
Well, now, Andy, there's a lot you don't know about Vernon P. Wilbrett.
Now that, I don't doubt. All right, Linus, back to the sale.
Oh, all right, Andy, but can't we just play one more song?
Well, we let you have that one. You've got to serve the rest of your time, and we have some police work to do.
Yeah, prisoner! And don't think we're going to count that little music party against your time none neither. I've got it all down. Andy, let the record show that the accused is to spend his full time and not a second less. I've got you down for another 4 minutes in the clink. Go on.
No? You been practicing for that big talent show of yours? Yeah, Paul, I have practiced, but I don't think I'm going to play. I'm just too nervous. There's going to be a lot of people there. And what if I get up there and make a fool out of myself? Now, son, you can't back out of something you done gave your word to. And there ain't nothing wrong with being nervous. You just got to get out there and face your fears. Well, I just ain't quite sure how I can do that, Paul. I mean, I get so nervous. My hands start to shake and my fingers won't even work. I just don't even think I can play. Well, I think you're going to do great. And you've sure been practicing enough. Why, Aunt Bee says she even hears banjo picking in her dreams. Well, we better be on our way. You ready, Vern?
Oh, you bet. Old man Smith ain't going to arrest himself.
We're not arresting anybody. We're serving a civil notice. Old man Smith is a good feller. He just needs a little encouragement.
Well, now, Andy, I'll tell you, I disagree with that. I don't trust him. He's got them shifty eyes, and what's he hiding? And why are his eyes so shifty? That's not natural. He's always looking all over the place. Well, look, he's square.
Well, now, what's the problem there, Ope?
I just don't know how I'm going to do it, Linus. I mean, I can barely pull the lick off in the room by myself, much less with a whole auditorium full of tax-paying citizens. Maybe Paul can find me some police work to do, because I'm just not cut out for this bluegrass line of work.
Now, Ope, would you believe me if I told you that I have problems with them nerves too?
Really? I mean, Mr. Linus, you're a super banjo picker, and I didn't know y'all could even get nervous.
Yeah, Ope, I'd get to shaking so bad I'd be missing money by the time the song was over. But listen, Ope, the key is to figure out why you're nervous. Now, you said that you got afraid that you'd mess up in front of folks, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, I think it's a little deeper than that. You're not worried about messing up in front of folks. You're worried about what them folks would think of you if you did.
I think you might be right. I mean, I want people to think high of me, but what if I'm not as good as they expect?
Well, now, Ope, there ain't nothing wrong with wanting to do good. But there is something wrong when you worry too much about impressing folks.
Really?
Sure, because if you're not careful, it becomes a matter of pride. Do you know what pride is, Ope?
Well, yes, sir. That's that thing that if you step on it, it'll make you fall?
Well, you're right on it. You see, Ope, many times we go through life trying to prove ourselves, like our value and our worth is determined only by our abilities, like how well we pick the banjo to impress people.
Yeah, I think I understand.
You see, the key to it, Ope, is that at the end of the day, we all have to get our value as a man from somewhere else and not from a crowd of people. Is that making any sense to you, Ope?
I think so. So you're saying it ain't about how good I play?
That's right, Ope. Now it's important to practice and do all that you can do, but that's all that you can do. You see, the good Lord made you, and He loves you, no matter how good you play. So don't go worrying about tomorrow, whether it's what you're going to wear, what Aunt Bee's fixing for dinner, or how you're going to play out there at that recital of yours. You understand, son?
Yes, sir. That makes a whole lot of sense. You know, Vern's wisdom was for me to just picture everybody in their skivvies. But that makes me a little uneasy.
That sounds exactly like something Vern would say. You know, I think he's rattled himself out of tune over the years. Now, Opie, trust in what you know is true and see if them nerves don't settle down a little bit. And you keep practicing, and I'll look forward to hearing all about it.
Yes, sir. Well, I better get back to practicing. Thank you, Mr. Linus. Well, old Opie ought to be rolling in any minute now. Vern, you want to go with us down there to that talent show, see how he does?
Why, of course, Andy. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Plus, I got to see how my wisdom I imparted on the boy turns out. See, I told him how he could beat all that stage fright of his. But he's up against a mighty force, Andy. I tell you, them crowds can really get to a man.
Well, howdy, Ope. You ready for that big show of yours? Yes, sir. I got some mighty good advice yesterday.
Oh, shucks, Ope.
Well, now, Andy, is there any chance I could come with you all to watch the boy? I'd love to come show my support for him.
Well, I think that's a mighty good idea, Linus. Very kind of you. Vern, get Linus out of here and let's get on down the road.
Why, Andy? Have you lost your ever-loving mind? That's crazy talk. He's a hardened criminal. Ain't fit for society. He's practically like a wild animal. We can't go bringing him in public. What would people think?
Now, Linus, are you going to behave yourself?
Oh, certainly, Andy. Cross my heart.
Well, that's good enough. Come on, Vern.
Fine, Andy. But don't go putting my name in the paper when they write about this tomorrow. I can see it already, right on the front page. Hardened criminal let loose by old Deputy Vern. Yeah, that's right. Or what about deputy, trust prisoner, only to betray the trust of Mayberry's prize citizens? Or how about guard lets his guard down? Havoc in the streets of Mayberry!
Yes, welcome everyone to the third annual Mayberry Pickin' Fest. Now our first act of the night is our very own Opie Banjo, and he's going to be playing Cripple Creek.
Well, Ope, you sure put a number on them last night. Like you were born to be up there.
Yes, sir. Ope, I tell you, you played that banjo unlike anything I've ever seen in my whole life. You know, we could take this on the road, you and me. Be a star. Now, hear me out on this, Ope. Now we could really be somebody, Ope.
Opie, looks like you got that little nervous problem figured out, didn't you? We sure did, Paul. Me and Mr. Linus and the good Lord.
I can see the marquees already. Opie Clark featuring Deputy Vern. That has a nice ring to it, but what about Deputy Vern and Opie's Bandits, or Opie and Vern Official Business, or how about Deputies Vern and the Law?